say hello to the BMW M1000Rr. We've been at Donington Park today on this bike. The first thing to say about it really is the S1000Rr finished third in the Fast Bikes Ultimate Sports Bike Test. It did really, really well on the road and really, really well in the dyno, but it just came up a little bit short on the racetrack. It was noted really for a sort of lack of ultimate precision compared to the bikes that finished in front of it. So what they've done with this bike is they've given it 5 horsepower more and taken 5 kilos off the weight and done a whole pile of stuff to the engine, which will be all in detail in the feature in the magazine. And the aim really is to win. BMW are desperate to win, and it's quite clear the lengths they've gone to with this bike in order to do that. Things they've done to it, it's got a very trick full titanium exhaust system. The brakes have been replaced. The electronic suspension's gone in favour of the Mazzocchi units, and they've been pretty heavily reworked. Different springs and dampers in there. Carbon wheels, it's got slightly different geometry. Swing arm's longer and it's adjustable as well. And yes, it's got wings, which is probably the number one thing that separates it from the S1000Rr. What's it like to ride? Well, it was a bit damp and a bit sketchy first thing out today, and that was quite interesting because it sort of revealed actually something about the engine performance and characteristics that probably might not have noticed if it was a nice perfect day. Compared to the S1000Rr, it's a lot less aggressive lower down in the rev range, which is a good thing. The previous versions of the S1000Rr, I always describe, so the pre-shift cam ones, they were always had that brilliant knack of not making you feel completely useless when you're riding these things, because the reality is these bikes are just so much better than, well, frankly, most people, myself included. But with the earlier S1000Rrs, they were amazing because they made you feel like you weren't useless. They were kind of like, I described it once as they were like your personal trainer. So they were like, come on, you can do this. Let's do this together. Let's go real fast. And it was all good. And they were friendly. And then the shift cam version came along in 2019. And it was so much more powerful low down and so much more responsive. It was kind of overwhelming. And it was a little bit like a drill sergeant. It was kind of made you feel like it was shouting at you, going, come on, all the whole time like this. And you kind of felt a bit useless riding one of them, which of course I am. But this M1000 kind of falls somewhere in between the two, I would say. It's got some of that friendly, usable nature that the original one had. And then at the top, when you do get up to the top half of the rev range, it's nuclear. It's ridiculous. So that's kind of like the sort of top and bottom of the engine. In terms of the chassis, it is a lot sharper. It turns so much more precise. It's so much well supported on the brakes. There's quite a lot of heavy braking zones around here at Donington Park, and it was so well behaved with that, which was one of the areas that certainly on our Ultimate Sports Bike test that the last one came up a little bit short on. And as for the wings, I don't know, is the truth. If they're performing any anti-wheelie function or not, but they look quite cool. They're made out of nice carbon, and they separate this bike from the S1000Rr. So that's it really. That's kind of the sort of summary really, my first impressions of this. I need to digest the rest of the information that I've sort of written down today and put it all together for the article in next month's Fast Bikes, which you'll be able to read.